AI sounds exciting, but what exactly does it look like day to day in project management? In this video, you'll hear real examples of how project teams are using AI right now to reduce admin, correct fragmented data, and make faster calls on time, cost, risk. We'll also cover where the tech is at today usefully and where humans are still firmly in the loop.
A lot of sort of what I'm looking at is using the historical projects we've done and the information on that, because every detailed registers about where cost has been spent against a trend of a lot of money being spent here. So rather than being reactive, it's about being proactive. You can pull more information, and you're probably looking at more information to predict where we go.
We're using AI now in cost control really just for like uploading stuff. So you can just upload your invoices and contracts and variations, change orders using AI, and it will populate all of the cost tracker automatically. But no prediction stuff just yet.
The admin heavy process or workflow from us is you receive a query from a contractor, RFI. You don't know, when you receive it, you don't know if there's any cost impact or what the response is going to be. Then goes to the consultant then responds with a instruction. That's when prior to that instruction being received, our job is mainly just tracking and also, pushing a problem to be solved, should we say?
Yeah.
But as soon as we receive that consultant's advice notice, there's a marrying up of here's the RFI, here's the response, and then we look at it with the, should we say, I call it the human in the loop kind of look at it, where we go, right, that's, we usually code them like that is no cost or that has a cost or that has a cost plus time. And that's usually the first flag. So in terms of AI prior to that, it's finding relevant information to that. So say the instruction comes through and says, change to this product. We're going, well, what was the original product? So there's no comparable baseline. Without looking at the drawings, not having to tell whether we're moving from concrete to aluminium or, what. So it's the, what was the baseline, and then it's the procedural part of having to issue an instruction on top of that instructs the contractor, where we've got to go and pull a little bit of, simple things like you got to pull the RFI number, the RFI title, and then we pull the instruction, a summary of the response, and then marry it up into our own instruction. Now that whole paper trail is one thing. And we issue that out. It's disconnected from a schedule at the moment, as I'm like, there's no tracking schedule that does this automatically. Tracking what we've said is no cost and cost. It's just a very manual process. And then obviously once it's gone out to the contractor as an instruction, then, as I say, that lag comes and they come and put a price against it. Now, usually we're then going to go and find out, well, which one are we doing it against? And there's then a what we call a variation order, which is the last step, which is certifying that price. Now, that all to marry up into one line. Here's the question, here's the instruction, here's the cost. And usually there's a bit of just a general disconnect between those documents. They're not lined up. So there's the AI importance of one pulling relevant information from the other, the contractor's question and the consultant's advice into our instruction. And the second part of that is the pulling baseline documents, searching through the existing specifications, etc. What was actually originally allowed for, pulling up the tag that we agreed 2 years ago on what the contractor had allowed for. Just surfacing that information. I see that's where the kind of role is.
Are you doing any of that now, like surfacing information from the drawings and documents?
Surfacing from the documents, less so the drawings haven't really.
Drawing's difficult. I haven't seen many good AI tools yet that can really rip off a drawing.
So we're moving from, we were Copilot, Colliers Global's transferring us all to Gemini Enterprise, which has quite good image recognition. So I'm the only one with a license at the moment in Australasia.
Ah, cool.
Just about to roll out a full set of that globally. But that will be, I use day to day, hand in hand with AI now completely. And a lot of that's just surfacing it's surfacing correspondence. And, often with every contract admin you've got, there's a whole lot of preceding emails. And trying to, like I say, it's trying to console that down into something that you can go, well, here's the instruction, here's what's been discussed in an email.
Yep.
Pulling that together, that's the power of it, right?
Yeah. And you've got
Thanks,
you've
mate.
actually got Gemini connected up to your
SharePoint.
Outlook SharePoint.
Yep. And SharePoint, yep. So it's all now live up there.
Yep.
And then we're
Yeah.
doing, in terms of like reports, there's the bits that go into that people either copy and paste into a Word report or copy and paste into Mastt. And we're looking at it's like an interview style question. So it will surface information on the period and then ask you, is this risk relevant? Should we report on it? Here's a draft summary based on all the correspondence. So a lot of that is pulling the data from emails and meeting minutes and things like that.
Yeah.
To pull that context.
Yep. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, actually getting it to ask you questions on what's relevant, and then actually it'll take that answer and then put it into the report that you're working on.
Yep. So and I guess that's the challenge with Mastt is you've got one data environment and then you've got an email data environment. And then even worse, we've got like an AConnect or a Procore environment, and it's trying to pull all the communication into one.
That's a great use case for AI, and like Claude Cowork is fantastic at that. Being able to pull across multiple apps. Yeah, it's really good. You can't pull from Mastt yet, but you can connect it up with you might have heard this term, MCP servers. So that allows like authentication with the app without your login, and it can get data from these different sources. So I don't know if it can do email yet, but it's like a cross-platform AI layer that can pull data from any of those apps.
Yeah, otherwise we end up in all these data silos.
Yeah.
The AI, if people can focus their time on that human input phase, which is is their entitlement, here's the information at my fingertips and make a decision, as opposed to the whole saving PDFs and reconciling information on schedules. That's just, for me, I think that needs to be gone. That should be good.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to know more about construction and get all the professional tips, tricks, and AI advice from real construction project managers, follow this channel for more insights.